there, I'm Kim from sunny Arizona.
And I'm Kara from vibrant Atlanta, Georgia. Welcome to our channel, the Kara and Kim Live Podcast.
We're both seasoned realtors with a passion for all things real estate. From market trends to insider tips, we're here to guide you through the journey of buying and selling homes.
But that's not all. We'll also take you on a journey getting to know various small business owners.
Whether you're a first-time home buyer, need more space for your growing family, or just curious about the market in Phoenix, Arizona,
or a seasoned investor, or you're looking for insights about the metro Atlanta area, we've got you covered.
Our podcast is designed to be informative, engaging, and a bit fun too.
We love interacting with our listeners, so don't hesitate to reach out with your questions or topics that you'd like us to explore.
Subscribe to our channel and join us on this exciting journey. New episodes will be coming your way regularly, filled with fresh content and expert advice.
So hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and let's do a deep dive into the world of real estate together. Welcome to the Kara and Kim Podcast.
Hi, Kara. How are you today?
I'm doing pretty well, Kim. Thank you so much for asking. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks.
All right. So today we have an interview with a person that sometimes you don't want to have to deal with, the roof repair guy. So I'm excited for him to drop some gems and give us some, behind the scenes information about what goes on.
Sounds great.
All right, let's get to it. Thank you so much for taking the time to interview. And I apologize we weren't able to meet in person, but
No problem.
We are able to meet. So first, if you could just introduce yourself and tell the listeners a little bit about what you do.
Yes. So how you guys doing? My name is Donovan Morgan, aka Roofs by Don. I'm part owner of Roofs by Don and owner of the Roof Gallery, which is the first roofing museum.
Okay. Well, let's start with the roofing museum since this is something historic. If you could share a little information about that.
Yeah, so the Roof Gallery, like I said, is the first roofing museum. It's the first one in the world. And what it is basically showing the roofing history, giving roofing education and things like that, just like a traditional museum. And what's cool about it is, well, first how I started it and why was because I was looking in the roofing industry, and I'm competitive myself. So I want to always be the best of the best. And usually when you're the best of the best, whether in sports or music, you're in a Hall of Fame or you're in a museum. I was looking in the roofing industry and we didn't have that. So I wanted to fill that void.
Okay. So tell us about where that's located. So if anyone wants to visit.
Yeah, it's located in Metro Atlanta. So it's located in Marietta, Georgia. And it's about 5 minutes away from the Brave Stadium.
Oh, awesome. So do you guys deal with any of the Brave Stadium traffic overflow?
We're in Marietta, so yeah, I think we're all kind of feeling that a little bit, but not too much. Because we're closer towards the Big Chicken. So if you're in Marietta, you kind of know that landmark. so not as much. We're definitely enjoying as far as the traffic just coming to the city more.
Okay, awesome. So I'm going to transition to talk more about serving consumers in the roofing industry.
Yes.
So, I know a lot of my listeners, I'm in real estate, so a lot of my listeners, they are homeowners or aspiring homeowners. And unfortunately, it seems to be a big disconnect between the average consumer and somebody in your industry. So if you could explain briefly, what are the types of roofs that you and your company has worked on?
Yes, we worked on all types of roofs. So from the average shingled roof, which is the asphalt shingles, we use 3-tab, architectural to designer shingles. We also have a new product. It's called EuroShield, which is rubber roofing. It's made out of recyclable tires. So that's something that's real, that's brand new. And that's something that's good for the industry as well. It's actually a hail-proof shingle. Then we also deal with the tile shingles, like the Spanish tiles. That's what you see like in Florida and things like that. Down to flat roofs, which is TPO, which you see on more commercial buildings. So we deal with it all. And of course, metal roofs as well.
So you mentioned the rubber roofs that's made from recyclable tires. Are those more affordable than your standard roof?
They cost a little bit more because it's more of I'd say luxury item. It's a higher rating as well. So it's considered a class 4 shingle. So how shingles go with ratings, kind of like a hurricane, it goes from category 1 to category 5 being the strongest. With
Okay.
shingles, they have a rating from category 1 to category 4. So with the rubber shingles, with the EuroShield, they're actually a category 4 rating. So it makes them hail proof. And with that being said, the cost goes up with that.
Got it. So with them being hail proof, is there any extended warranty?
Yeah, it definitely have warranties with it being hail proof, and basically with that, it's essentially a forever roof since it has since it's more resistant to wind, and again since it's resistant to hail as well.
Okay. Now, here's a little bit more of a detailed question. If you could walk us through your process for assessing a roof's condition and determining the scope of work that might be needed.
Yeah, that's a great question. So with us at Roofs by Don, we do it a little bit different. Usually, a typical roofer, they'll say, "Hey, we'll just give you like a free inspection," and then when they do the inspection, they'll just check for, say, storm damage per se. Where if you're, say, doing like real estate, you'll have like a home inspector, and a home inspector is just looking for like, say, basic leaks. So they're both kind of looking for different things. With us at Roofs by Don, we take both routes where we're looking for standard leak around your pipe boots, things like that. But we also do the inspections as far as for storm damage, seeing if you have any hail or wind damage, things like that. If it needs to be repaired, then we can do so, and we can let you know the best route. So whether it's going through insurance or whether it's out of pocket, and we can help with that.
So, for most of my buyers, I encourage them all to, but most of them do get home inspections. And if
Mm-hmm.
there's any problem, particularly with a special trade, I encourage them to reach out to somebody in that trade. So, do you
Great
handle
job.
the thank you. Do you handle any inspections while somebody's going through the buying process?
Of course, of course. We like to specialize in that. So that way we can make sure, that homeowners or the new homeowners are, going down the right path and have the most up-to-date information. So yeah, we definitely do the inspections. And just like we said with the typical home inspector, usually they're not as detailed or they're looking for all of the damages with the roof. So that's where we're able to come in and, fill that void and have the up-to-date reports.
Okay. Can you also give us maybe one, maybe two, if you can think of a example of a challenging roof project that your team has worked on recently?
A challenging roof project. We have one that we're working with David Bromstad with HGTV.
Okay.
That one is in Orlando, Florida. And with that, everything's supposed to go perfectly fine, right? TV, so it's a magical castle, building his home. And we just had little problems with our first subcontractors that we were dealing with, getting everything done right and up to our standard. So with him, he had a designer roof, and with the designer shingles, you're supposed to install it a certain way, and it's a little bit different than a regular roof. So with this designer project, the subcontractors were necessarily installing it the correct way, so we had to kind of stop them in the middle of the build and problem solve. So at the end of the day, it was just a little bit difficult when you're having to problem solve during the build. We like to get things right the first time, but no one's perfect. So it's not necessarily when problems show up, is how you resolve them. So how we resolved them was by stopping them as far as installing correctly, getting it installed correctly, and now we have his magical roof.
Okay. Well, that's awesome.
Thank you.
I am also an investor and I do some projects in Florida, Papka.
Okay,
And
okay, yeah,
yeah, some of just the labor issues have been a little challenging as of late.
exactly. Florida's crazy.
Yeah, yeah. Getting new roofs and trying to get, homeowners insurance is challenging.
hmm
So kudos to you.
Thank you, thank you.
It is a
I mean,
difficult
at the end of
market.
the day, with all the challenges, as far as for a homeowner, the main thing that they want is just a good roof over their head. Literally. So that's what we're here to help provide, and just at the end of the day, give them a good experience.
Mhm. And how do you handle communication with your clients and the contractors and team members?
Just about having a solid team and being systematic. So, as far as handling my team, we have different departments. So, we have sales managers, we have project managers. So, someone that's in charge of each department, so that way we can be accountable and we don't let anything slip through the cracks.
When you are working in, let's say, adverse weather conditions, how does that impact your timeline for your project?
I mean, typically, what we'll do is we'll reschedule. So if it's something like, it's raining, we're not going to build during a rainy day. Usually our production managers, they'll check the calendars, they're checking the weather channel constantly, so that way we can make sure the forecast is good and clear skies for the day of the build. If it happens that, it starts raining during a build or something like that, we'll make sure that we dry in the roof. So that's the most important thing. Make sure that no water, gets in. And that way, if it's dried in, we can resume the project once the weather gets better. Other than that, we try to make sure that we build over 40 degrees as far as weather wise. When it gets colder than that, we usually like to wait because the shingles won't necessarily settle or lay flat. So those are usually things that we just look out for and try to plan ahead of time.
So you mentioned dry in. Can you explain what that is, just for some people who might not be in construction?
Yeah. So drying in layman's terms, basically is just making sure that the roof doesn't have any leaks or anything like that. Usually we'll use a felt. So felt is the paper that goes over your decking. So when you see the wood, you see them put like a little felt with has usually some logos on top of it. That's what is protecting your roof. There's usually standard 15-pound felt, 30-pound felt, then synthetic felt. So good, better, best. So it's good to ask your contractor what kind of felt they're putting on. If they're putting synthetic felt, like Huspadan, good shape. If they're putting 15-pound felt, that's builder grade. That is acceptable, but that is the lowest, standard. Um,
All right, awesome. Another question I have for you: what have been some of your challenges since COVID in the roofing industry?
That's a good question. So to me, I like to make lemons into lemonade.
Okay.
So I don't think COVID was really a challenge. I felt like that was something that was real good so we could see how we could be better as an industry in general. So with the roofing industry in general, I started during COVID. So it was good for me where with the roofing industry, I felt like they had to shut down because all business were shutting down as far as maintaining contact, things like that. I'm standing 6 feet. And with roofing, a lot of the industry as well is door to door, going to people's doors and offering free inspections. So it deterred a lot of people away in the industry. And they figured, they have to start after 5 p.m. and people don't want to do door to door anymore. They don't want to be face to face. But with us, we took that head on and we said, we still did our campaigns. We made sure we stood 6 feet away. We had our mask on, and business was actually booming during that time. And I think the reason why was because we we maintained our business. And with roofing, it's a emergency service too, especially when it's storm damage, with weather. So we were still out there with the emergency responders, and we were still doing business. So actually, as long as I feel like in that time, as long as you didn't duck your head or shy away from it, and you went into solution provider mode, it was a good season.
Awesome. Now, can you give our listeners one tip as far as maybe an annual maintenance, a biannual maintenance to
Yeah.
help preserve their roofs?
Yeah. Great question. Yeah. So one tip that I would do really is I would get a annual roof inspection. Roof inspections are typically free, so I would get that just as far as for the peace of mind. From a reliable contractor, I would do your research, make sure that they're A rated, see if they're on the Better Business Bureau or places like that, just so you can double check. Really, other than that, especially if you have a storm, it's just about the free inspections, or getting an inspection so that way you can check the maintenance to see the life of the roof. Because a lot of times homeowners know that, hey, my roof might last 20 or 30 years, so they think that they're good. But if they have a storm, that's like a car accident to their roof. So just like you have a brand new car, but if you get in a car accident in 3 months, you have to call your insurance. It's kind of the same thing with the house. You can have a brand new house and the roof is supposed to last 30 years. But if you have a big windstorm that's over 60 miles per hour, or if you have a hailstorm that's, an inch or more, then it is worth it to have that inspection because you might have damage and your insurance might be able to cover it just how they cover your vehicle. Or if it's something that's out of pocket, you still need to be aware of what's going on. So if you can't climb your roof, it's good to have a contractor able to fly a drone or climb it for you, so that way you can have that peace of mind.
Okay, so you mentioned you work in Florida, and I
Yes,
know
Florida as well.
here in Georgia.
Yes.
Are there any other locations?
Yeah, so we're actually going to be opening up in Dallas, Texas, as
Okay.
well, and in New Mexico in Albuquerque.
Okay, so you're hitting the southeast pretty heavy. And a
Yeah,
little
so
bit.
we're gonna be the king of the South soon. Watch out, Ti.
Awesome. Okay, so can you share your information? I'm also going to include it in the comments and the show notes. But if you could just share your information, how anyone can reach out to you or your team.
Of course. So you can definitely reach out at roofsbydon.com and on all social media platforms, Roofs by Don. And you can also check me out at the Roof Gallery. So the roofgallery.com and the Roof Gallery on all social media platforms.
Awesome. And the good thing I must add, there's free parking.
Yes, there's free parking.
Gallery. So that's a big deal in Atlanta.
Yes, there's free parking. And then just with the Roof Gallery, we're doing a lot of things. We're trying to uplift the roofing community and black contractors in the community as well. So there's not a lot of black roofing contractors. So just putting out there for February 1st, we're having the Roof Gallery Summit. So we're gonna have a lot of black contractors in the building. Hopefully we can have a lot of black realtors in the building as well. So anybody in the home services we want to have in the building, so that way we can network, shake hands, kiss babies, and all grow.
Please send me the information. I would love to attend.
I'll definitely send it over.
All right. Thank you so much, John. And thank you to our listeners. Please reach out to him for any of your annual roof inspection needs. And his information is going to be below.
Yes, thank you guys. We're going to need a bigger place soon, so we're going to be contacting you.
Okay. I love it. All right.
Great reminder to keep an eye on your roof. You don't necessarily see that every day. It's not like your front door or anything like that. Like you can't see it, but it's super important. It's protecting your house. So it's definitely a good reminder to do the inspection once a year.
And corny joke time. You got to keep a good roof over your head. I know Kim is sick of my corny jokes. It is what it is. So I just really appreciated the information he gave. I didn't even understand that, there are different kinds of felt that were used and the recyclable materials. I don't really do too much with roofs in my renovation business. Thankfully, I've only had a few times I've had to repair a roof, but it was definitely informational. So if you are interested in getting a free evaluation either in Georgia, Florida, and soon to be Albuquerque, New Mexico, and he said somewhere in Texas, or am I?
He did say Texas.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Dallas.
Yes.
Feel free to reach out to Don and his team. They're pretty responsive, and all his contact information are in the show notes.
Sounds good.
Until next time, guys.
See you next time.